My name is Suzanne Snyder Johnson, and I'm the Executive Director and founder of Sail Beyond Cancer.
It's a golden opportunity, and you will love it. And remember it always.
It'll free your mind and it'll lighten the load.
We honor those who are being challenged by cancer by harnessing the healing powers of wind, water, and sail.
The wind that filled those sails filled me.
You are given that feeling of freedom and power. It will contribute so much to your healing.
Yeah. Turn the engine off and the whole thing changes. Everybody just goes, oh.
And we laughed and we cried and we sang and we did all these things that brought us even closer together.
It was silent. You could just hear the wind in the sail.
Anybody can nominate anyone who is being challenged by cancer.
The most special part of it was sharing it with Kimberly. Do it together. That was really the biggest thing for me.
Take stock and just forget about responsibility for a little while.
There's no doctor's appointments. You're not getting a bill in the mail. This is just peaceful.
Whenever you go through that type of experience, it changes you forever, and it changes not only you, but the people around you.
Surrounded by love.
When you have your hands on the helm, you feel the boat. You feel the pressure that the wind is putting on the sails. It sends a certain energy through your body.
It's magnificent. There's nothing else like it anywhere. Anywhere.
It's a life-extending experience. And I believe that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm forever, ever grateful. Ever grateful.
For 3 hours. Under this power of the wind and the water and sail.
Now that's how you start a show. Welcome back, everybody, to Just a Couple Old Guys. I'm Steve Malizia, and tonight we're having an opportunity to spend the next several minutes talking with my dear friend, the Executive Director, the woman who started it all, Suzanne Johnson. Suzanne. What a nice video. That was sweet. It gets me, I say gets me every time, you know. Just the fact that I was able to participate in a sail, and we'll get to that because it's been a little while now since we first met.
Yes.
Sail Beyond Cancer.
Yes.
I know you're a busy, busy woman. Tell us a little bit more. Come on.
So, well, yes. I mean, I started this, I went through cancer. I was a single mom. I have 3 children, full custody, full time, and you know, just like anything else, I've always felt very much in shape, and I ate well, and you know, I liked a little wine, but you know, I wasn't just a crazy girl, right?
Right.
And but I found a lump on my chest, and everything halted, as you know, as so many of our friends know. When you're just faced by this unusual change of course direction, that's a good nautical term for you. You know, your whole life goes upside down and inside out, and everything stops. You just have to make some pretty major decisions and react immediately. And in my case, you know, really be there for my children. And so, anyway, so I went through everything: chemo, radiation, lost all my hair, and it's a little cold in Vermont.
It's
you know?
cold. It's cold.
When you don't have hair. Oh my goodness. So, you know, as I grew up in Connecticut, and so I grew up sailing all my life, on and off boats, big boats, little boats, and I always loved being out in the water, and it felt like peaceful to me. And so when I was going through my own journey here in Burlington, I immediately resonated with getting out on the water on Lake Champlain, you know, and after I went through the chemo and the radiation, I started getting a little hair back.
Get some strength back.
Get some strength back. I started to really think about, what do I want to do with my life, and how can we bring together something and build something here in our community that really resonates with so many people and provides an opportunity that's not really being provided right now. And you know, sailing was a wonderful tool to use because it's physically and mentally, you're able to detach yourself from land, right? If you remember, right, you got on the boat and you know, you already felt great just before you even leave the dock because you're on
Right.
this boat with your
Right, absolutely. Yeah, there's some
loved ones.
buoyancy, there's the fresh air, there's all of the components that go into your excursions.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, it became this wonderful mission, and it has just grown and grown and grown, and because unfortunately there's a lot of cancer, and so
Yes.
as you remember, like, we brought you out a couple times. It's geared towards people who are just getting the word they have this journey in front of them, or they're going through chemo, or they're going through radiation, or they're about to have surgery, or they're on maintenance chemo, like many friends of ours we know mutually who are currently, like, they look normal on the outside, right?
Right.
And they're fighting the fight on the inside. It's or they're just like, hey, heck with drugs, I'm done with that. I just want to live the rest of my life
Right.
feeling as good as I can,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. As good as you can. As good as you can, because you know what that did. Like you said, the outside.
Yeah.
If my insides felt as good as my outsides appear.
Yeah.
Right. And now, but I see the change coming. You know, it's just, it's one of those deals.
You know
So
it.
yeah, being able to face that, and you know, you say, fight the good fight, and all those things. What I understand now is that folks like yourself, and you more than most people that I've been involved with, because you've been on that trail, you came before me and offered me some of what you know to be so therapeutic that, and here we are, because like you said, it was several years ago now when I was on my first sail. So I can attest to that it's life extending. It's remarkable. So I could go on and on, but tell me some more about.
So, you know, so there's two things that I want to share with you, because it was originally started because I really wanted to reach the people like you and me, right? And what that would mean is that person can bring whoever they want on their own private 3-hour sail, and these sails are free to the people in our community who are being challenged with this. And what happened was that the people around that person, so the caregivers, the loved ones, they're just as affected. I mean, they don't feel as awful because they're not going through chemo, but emotionally, yes, absolutely.
Right.
Like, I mean,
a lot of hard work going on everywhere in the family.
Every day, 24/7. So it quickly became this dual mission almost, in a way, right? Because you're out there. I had this great story about Frank. Frank was a gentleman who was in hospice, and I got to call him up and say, guess what? You get to go sailing. And he said, you know, Suzanne, I'm kind of tired of it being about me. And I said, here's a great opportunity for you to say thank you to your loved ones while you're here, right? While you're out, and you could be outside and you're under sail. And he's like, wow, I didn't think of that. Sign me up. Let's do this.
Right.
So it's like this thank you gift that that patient, the AKA nominee, is giving to their loved ones, and the loved ones are happy that Frank is out of the respite house for an afternoon, and so there's just these two beautiful messages happening at the same time, and sometimes it was never actually spoken about, but it's very much there during the sail. So it's pretty awesome.
It is. Yeah, it is. Well, I can tell you this: it is truly a gift that keeps on giving. It does, through the social media, through the way that the images that you guys post. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful, and I can't support it enough.
Thank you.
So you are welcome. You're welcome. How are you feeling?
Oh, thank you, honey. I feel great. You know, I mean, it's now 11 years out for me, and
that's good news.
Yeah, and for me, it's like you said, that it's a gift that keeps giving, because being out on these sails, some people ask me, well, it must be super depressing being with people who maybe have days to live, but it's really not, because we're just providing this little 3 hours of joy, of happiness, of relief, or whatever it is for them.
Sure.
But it's always positive.
Right.
And
Always
it's,
positive. Exactly.
you know?
Peaceful,
Exactly.
tranquil, friendly, joyful.
Exactly.
You come away with so much gratitude. Yeah. How can you not? I mean, it's just one of those deals. So always positive.
So,
always
you know,
positive.
And so, and Steve, if you remember when I did this with you, one thing we do is this is not a charter. We don't bring people out and tell them all about the history and teach them how to sail. It's none of that. It's really about our captains and crew are all been either touched by cancer or have had cancer themselves. So we get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with your sail and many of the other ones, we hand the helm. We get the sails up, turn the engine off, and then immediately. Do you remember that? You smile right now.
Absolutely remember it. Oh, it was just steer into the sun, Steve. Just steer it into the sun. And it was like, oh my Lord, it was
So great.
exciting, and more than that. It's just more than I can't describe it enough. I mean, and you've developed even a deeper sense of how you want to honor people that are on the cancer trail, I guess. It's not some people don't like the word journey. I've learned that. Okay, well then cancer trail. Sometimes it's rocky, sometimes it's smooth.
That's right.
You provide that body of water that lets us go for a while.
So it's interesting you asked that because, you know, over the years now, I've always thought, okay, how can we continue to add more value to the people in our community who are being touched by this disease, right? And so we decided last summer to start a program, and we're going to be doing it again. We're definitely becoming much more popular with this, to offer a program for anybody who's lost someone to cancer. And so we are providing, it's a celebration of life. And it's not necessarily somebody who's been out sailing with us. It doesn't matter. It's really anybody that you know that has lost somebody to cancer. And we're saying in the past 3 to 5 years, I mean, because there's a lot of...
Right, no, there's capacity issues. Right. I guess that's the best way to say it, right? I mean, you do operate a lot of some memorial sales, it sounds like. That's great.
Yes.
Well, that kind of leads us into your captains, the boats, the places that you are now located, because it's not just Burlington, Vermont.
Not just Burlington, Vermont. So what I did was I created this nonprofit and modeled it after Make-A-Wish, because Make-A-Wish is a beautiful, huge nonprofit, national nonprofit, and I worked a lot with the attorneys and how to best build this nonprofit, Sail Beyond Cancer, as people keep asking us all over the country to open up locations in their community, right? And we want to do it the right way. And so typically in each community, there's a dedicated vessel that's been donated to that chapter. But each of these chapters have their own board of directors, and they work with the mothership, no pun intended, but there's a lot of nautical puns with this. One sail we went out, and the whole 3 hours we were coming up with nautical puns, you know.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But so yes, we have a chapter now in North Shore of Massachusetts, Sail Beyond Cancer North Shore. We have a vessel that was donated there last year, and so we sail right out off of Marblehead and Manchester by the Sea. Remember that movie that came out a couple of years ago,
absolutely,
before the pandemic? So that whole body of water. You know, it's a little different. We see whales, and we see there's a great white shark that's been cruising around there.
Wow.
And so it's a whole different deal, 10-foot tides. And then this winter, in a couple of months actually, I'll be heading down to Annapolis, Maryland. And there's a huge group of people down there who are very excited about opening up a chapter down there, of course, the sailing capital. One of the two sailing capitals in the world.
And I'm sure with the volume of people there, a lot of people coming in with cancer.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That continues to grow. I mean, we could talk about that too, the alarming number of people.
Yeah. I mean, the CDC is predicting 1 out of 3 people
1 out of 3
will be or has been diagnosed during their lifetime. What's great is that the rate of people actually passing away or dying is less because we're able to catch a lot of this.
Right, screening. We talk about that, don't we? You know, whenever we get together, it seems like we're always reminding people male health
Please.
screenings,
Please.
women's health screenings. It's very important to pay attention to the CDC guidelines. And now everybody has their own phone. Google that, right? And boom.
Absolutely.
Just keep up on it, because
Exactly.
you still can do that, and it can still,
happen.
it finds you. So
You know, I think too, so many conversations happen out there when we're sailing, you know, but we typically will tell our group, yes, you know, each of us have been touched by cancer before we leave the dock or the mooring, but we don't typically lead the conversation in terms of cancer, but it almost always comes up, and there's all sorts of questions. And I think over the years that one of the biggest messages that I want to share with you and with our audience is that be your own advocate. Always get a second and third opinion in and out of state if you can. Just it's your body and it's your vessel. Yes. And really, I would say that would probably be the biggest aha moments I've had over the years. Like, wow, and how many people wish they had. And,
Correct.
And
Correct.
hadn't, right? And
Correct.
so now they're back and they're dealing with a very, very serious situation.
Right.
But it's really very, very exciting. And we have 10 vessels that we use here on Lake Champlain. They're all private vessels. And all these captains have been, you know, either touched by cancer, and several of them you saw in that little video in the beginning here. And, you know, it means so much to them to be able to give of their time and share their vessel with people who are dealing with this disease. And it is amazing how I mean, it actually kind of surprised me how emotional the captains were getting in our taping of the impact video, because it really truly does mean a lot to them. And you know, Steve, this past summer, we had, for the first time ever, we've had 3 different days where we had 3 mission sails happening at the very same time on the same lake on the same day, and you know, they would pass each other, you know. And you know, how awesome is that?
That's just remarkable.
Yeah.
Sharing it all of what that is.
Several of those were Camp to Come to Kids. I mean,
I remember seeing some of that. Yeah, you have a nice social media platform that and you're doing a lot of things. I mean, talk a little bit more about that. How the outreach, because the outreach is so important to help it grow.
It is, and I just encourage anybody and everybody to help us spread the word, because this is a free service. And people think, oh, what about the hospitals? That's great, but it's our neighbors. It's, you know, John Smith in church, or somebody you know is dealing with this, and then you can just nominate them. You know, you don't even have to tell
email,
them.
phone number, name. It's as simple as that. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
It's you've made it so easy to connect with. Again, your social. You said.
Yes,
she's sweet, huh?
She's great, my assistant. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Marketing guru. It's awesome.
She does really good work. She's the person behind the curtain.
Yes.
Right?
I need that.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
We all
I understand that completely. But I was really glad to be on a sail with her this past summer too.
Yeah,
So
really unique person.
Yeah.
But you know, yes, getting the word out to all areas within Vermont and beyond. I mean, really. Yeah, cancer doesn't have a border.
No,
you know,
exactly.
And you know, so we really encourage anybody to help open doors for us. We have rack cards. I didn't bring one with me, but you know, you can hand them to people. You don't even have to explain to people what this is about. You can just nominate them, and you can do it anonymously if you want. Try to say that.
Sure, that's right.
Wine. But,
that's a good idea too.
You know, and we just call them up. We tell them, and so it's really easy, and it's really helpful to have the community to help us open up those doors and just say, hey, this person might really enjoy this, or this child.
Have you heard about this?
You know?
Exactly.
So important to get the kids out there too.
Yeah. So a little partnership with Camp to Come to.
Yes. I just talked to Dennis the other day, yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay.
And we will be doing that again this year.
Nice.
And you know, the kids have been affected by COVID, of course, the past 2 years. So we were able to bring families out
Nice.
And that's where we had several sails at the same time so the kids could see each other. It was just
That's
great.
really neat.
You know, we
Good.
could get water balloon.
Well, you've had, I'm trying to recall, I think it was a pretty good summer. I spent most of mine on the golf course, a couple of times with you.
Yeah.
I think Fran Kirby came in too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He came up. Yes,
Yes,
he did.
yes. That
One of
was,
the first sails, yeah.
right.
Fran Kirby is one of our...
Absolutely. Sorry about that. Yeah.
nominees from, we call them nominees, is what we also call a patient, but we don't call them patients.
Right. This is not a medical model.
So Fran is a dear friend of Steve's,
absolutely.
they met each other at a fly
Well,
fishing.
the same place we met.
That's right.
No,
Stowe
the Weekend of Hope,
Yes.
exactly, in Stowe, and which has gone completely virtual now, which is okay, I guess, but nothing like the real deal where I met with you.
Me. Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
yeah. Fran and I were at a fly fishing. We were into a fly fishing conversation when the next booth over was you, and saw some of that magic. Next thing I know, I'm on a sail, and
That's right.
it's been very, very good for me
Wonderful.
and the family and the friends that joined. Like you said, friends, and you've done a wonderful job. I say that because I know from firsthand experience. But what's it been like this past summer with the COVID and COVID restrictions?
Yeah. So, and the summer before, because 2020, we continued to sail
I do remember
right
that.
through the summer.
Yeah, because we were down from 8 to 4.
That's right. And
Yes.
so normally we can bring out, 8 people or sometimes 6 people, passengers, right? We have a captain and 2 crew. And so during the heat of COVID 2020, we brought that down to 4 passengers, and they had to be within the family. So we kept sailing, took 83 people out that summer. And then last summer, I share COVID is a lot like when we go through cancer. So when somebody who's in the middle of chemo, you cannot just go to the supermarket, right, and get whatever you want because you're nervous about what you might catch, and you can't afford to.
It makes no difference if it's COVID or the flu or a cold or a sneeze.
matter.
No, your immune system is so
Shot. Yeah.
Shot. And it takes a lot to build back up, and that is, and so that produces more social anxiety. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with this.
Oh my gosh.
People don't know.
So you're dealing not only with your cancer and all the treatment and not feeling physically super well, but you're also dealing with all of that anxiety and as well. Same thing that we've dealt with COVID. But so last summer we took 326 people out sailing here on Lake Champlain. We went on 53 sails.
Wow, great, great. Oh man.
So we sail 7 days a week. 7 days a week, several times a day. We don't have a tide here, which is kind of nice.
Yes,
and,
yes.
So great.
Get up and go. Just organize. You guys are so organized, though. It's always on time.
Yes.
It's always on time. And that has to have something to do with you and the stars and nautical time. Right? I mean, it's
have to be on time.
Yeah, you got to be on time.
Yeah.
You got to be on time.
Yeah. We have a lot of people who. So we're already taking nominations for this. So we're already getting people. I just had 2 people book in the past 4 days for this summer already, which is very fun. And our goal this summer is to hit 100 sails.
Good.
On Lake Champlain.
Good.
So
that's a lot of work.
And it's all good though.
Absolutely,
great.
absolutely.
People ask me, Steve, when we start sailing, and I always laugh because we're in Vermont. And it really kind of depends on Mother Nature a little bit, right?
right.
But typically we'll start sailing late May.
Okay.
And as you remember, and we go right up through October first or so week.
Yeah,
or so.
yeah. I've been on 4 sails, and they were more toward this year I think it was earlier in the summer. That was great. The weather was good. The first year was later in August, but the weather, it was just gorgeous. And then had one that we bundled up for.
Yes.
So it's nice to have all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just you see a little of the change in the seasons coming, and so it's kind of funny because I know I've shared this with you before. I grew up here in Burlington, and Lake Champlain for me was a place to go ice fishing when I was younger with my father, go out on a boat once in a while with my friends, go fishing once in a while, swim once in a while. But I was never drawn to the lake like I'm drawn to someplace else.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it wasn't until your invitation to join you on a sail did I understand exactly what that was all about. So it waited for me.
Yeah.
It's what I say about golf. It's what I'll say about sailing, that it waited for me. Suzanne, I know we could go on for a long time.
Yes, we could. I love talking with you.
I love talking with you too. I really do. They just let us know out back that we've got, our time is wrapping up. We've got 3. So that gives us a chance to.
1 minute because the video is 2 minutes.
Exactly. So you went very good. You can come back here anytime, my friend. You can come back. You've done this before.
A long time ago.
Well,
yes,
again, we
yes.
could talk about social media. Give everybody an address to reach out to.
So sailbeyondcancer.org is our main website. You can go there. You can nominate. That's where you go to nominate people. And you can nominate somebody for either a memorial sail or a celebration of life for somebody they lost, or anybody that you know of that's being challenged by cancer right now. And little kids, little squirts, I don't care, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Any age, any type of cancer, and really anywhere in the state and beyond. So it's their private sales. So just go there, and it means so much. And it's such an easy thing to do, and you feel good about knowing that you just made this guy over here really happy because he gets to go sailing again.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
And away from cancer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank
Sail
you,
Beyond
thank you.
Cancer, Suzanne Johnson.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next time.
Who doesn't know someone who is fighting cancer?
Cancer's an unwelcome guest. There's no 2 ways about that.
Need a break where it's not just about the cancer treatment.
Harnessing the healing powers of wind, water, and sail.
A sense of peace, joy, true joy.
I felt the power.
Get out on the lake, it's just, everything just kind of opens up, all kinds of possibilities.
Be able to see that sense of relief on their face as they're sailing.
Actually took the helm on this vessel into the sunset. I felt the wind in the water. I saw my friends laugh. For 3 hours, I was brought to another place. I felt it. I felt it in places that I didn't know I could feel.
Just let go.
Be present for each other.
I think that means a lot to people.
To nominate someone, it's just a very simple, free gift.
And I'll say it until I can't say it anymore. Sail Beyond Cancer. It's an unbelievable gift.
Nominate.
Donate.
Volunteer.
Yeah, thank you.